All right, so today I'm not doing so bad pre-market, pretty much break even on the day. I am in a couple trades here, so I'm just going to be managing them here at the market open. AEI gapped up a whole bunch, so I'm just watching this one to make sure it doesn't come popping up too much. So it's continuing down here, and then AQMS. So I'm getting out of AEI there with the rest of my position. And AQMS, I'll just pull that chart up, AQMS. This one I did have some profit on, and then I took profit, it popped up, and I added to it, which is why I don't have the best price. And it's right at the VWAP here, so I'm just going to see what it does. If it comes up to 410, I'll get out. Otherwise, it looks decent to come down on the day. So AQMS dropped down below $4. My price is $3.88. It's at $3.91. So now it's dropping down a little bit more. I'm going to take half off here at 386. So now it's bouncing up off the moving average on the 1 minute chart. So AEI is coming up and tapping the VWAP again. This one's pretty volatile. AQMS has come back right up to the VWAP, and I'm ready to get out of the rest of the trade if it doesn't reject on the 1 minute chart. So shorting AEI again here with 65 shares just before a drop here to 1391, and it looks like it's halting. So very small size on this one. I don't want to get myself in trouble, and it is now halted. So here's AEI. So I shorted it at 1517 when it was dropping off of the testing the VWAP here. Only with 65 shares. This one has a very small float, and I don't want to be stuck in it if it's gapping up when the halt resumes. So we have XTLB hitting the scanners, so I'm going to pull up that one. So my goal today is just trade in a comfortable way. Don't overdo the risk, and not have a huge loss. Ideally come out with a decent green day to finish the week. I'd like to end the week on a good note, since I've been having a little bit of a rough patch the last few days, not adjusting my trading to the market, and then trading on my emotions as opposed to my emotions and my P&L as opposed to the market. So, morning Jacob, morning whiskey trading. So, success. After the last couple days, I didn't lose several $1,000s in pre-market. So, pretty happy with that. So here's AEI. If you look at this chart, this thing, pre-market gapped up, shot up in 5 minutes from 11 to a high of 22.97. So it doubled in one 5-minute candle. It looks like it was mostly in 1 minute. And then I shorted it, breaking below the VWAP here, which is kind of risky, very low float. But it was with small size. Made a little bit, took some profit, shorted it again as it was after the market opened and it was dropping down here, and got in right before it dropped a whole dollar and halted at 13.92. So the halt time was 9:33.19, so resumption will be 9:38.19. So with AEI, with the super low float and a bunch of people watching it, the risk is that it can, do a bounce on resumption and come shooting back all the way up above VWAP and halt going up. So I definitely want to be watching AEI here in a little bit. Resumption at 9:38.19. My price is 15.17. So in about 5 seconds here, it's going to resume. So I'm going to get out of that right here. I don't want to risk it coming back up. So I made a little bit more on AEI there. Didn't want it to bounce. So got out at 14.30. Didn't super capitalize on that trade, but managing my risk on the short position there on this super low float, super volatile stock. So now I just have my position left on AQMS. So baby steps today. This one, breaking through this moving average on the 5-minute chart. Trying to. I have 395 shares short at 389. So trying to find out what the exact float is on AEI. it looks like 770,000 share float on AEI, which is tiny. It's continuing lower. So right now I don't have any other stocks or setups I'm looking for in particular, so I'll just be on the lookout for potential trades. So as long as I just finish this day without a huge loss, I'm going to be happy this weekend and ready to take on the changing market next week. Just the fact that I'm not deep in the red right now makes me pretty happy. So AQMS continuing a little bit lower here, but it is pretty extended coming down. But it's a slow moving stock, so I'm not really risking losing money on this trade if it's coming back up. XTLB was the leading gapper for most of the morning, but it wasn't very interesting because I can't short it, and it's been rejecting the VWAP on the way down. So if I could short it, would have been interested, but can't short it at light speed. So I'm considering taking all my profit on AQMS and getting back in if it does a VWAP test at some point. So maybe just half. So I'm just going to get out of AQMS there at 379. So not in any trades. EYS could be a reasonable trade to the upside if we have some good upwards momentum come back to the market today. At the end of the market yesterday, there was a really nice move on a stock. I don't remember which one it was. Let's see here. SLGG. So let's see what SLGG is doing right now. Okay, yep. So yesterday at the end of the market, the last 30 minutes or so, maybe last hour. Yeah, the last hour, SLGG traded upwards on momentum. Looks like EYES is moving up. I'm not trading to the long at all though, just to the short side today. SLGG did some really nice moves up here, all the way up to 965 after hours. So it's good to see some upwards momentum at the end of the day. WTI at the $0.50. Nice ramping daily chart here, curling up. Beats fourth quarter earnings. So completely different feeling right now than the last couple days at this time of the market. Completely relaxed, not really, maybe a little bit anxious just coming off the last couple days, but I feel really good about being patient and only taking the absolute best setups. So pretty much the only thing that dictated me losing about $10,000 over the last week is my emotions and the way I reacted to my emotions trading. So pretty powerful stuff. So here's that equity curve on the small account challenge. Start at 0 exactly just under a month ago. Shot up here all the way back down to cumulative P&L of 3,700. So this month I'll be digging myself out of a hole bit by bit, but I think it's very doable. I just got to keep track of my emotions and not trade my P&L and take really good setups and adjust to the market as it changes. I'm taking a starter short on ANCN here at the VWAP. It's not dropping below it just yet. It's a pretty big position. So a lot of margin on this that I wasn't aware of. So I won't really sweat it too much if this doesn't drop below. But as you can see on the daily chart, it kind of bounced off of the moving averages up here. So I'd look to get out of this trade beginning at 325 or so, just because there's this moving average here. So I'd take some profit around 325. Just threw an order out at 321 because it did drop down there on the bid for 1,000 shares, just to take some of this position off the table. So executed 1,000 shares at 321, which is good to cut down my risk because I have a lot of margin on this one. So now I'm back within reasonable share size versus my account, and I'm just ready to get out or take some more profit. So that was a bounce off the moving average there. Got 327 on the ask. I'm going to throw out an order to take most of the rest of the position off at 322 if it comes back down. Didn't realize how much margin I had on this stock. So a pretty tight setup here, because right below the VWAP we have this moving average, and daily chart doesn't really show a whole lot as far as room to come down. So 700, most of that order at 322 is executed. You can see right here 781 of 1,000 shares, and now that full order has executed. I just have 351 shares at average price of 330. I'm just going to take the rest off there at 326, or execute it at 325. So pretty risky in terms of the position sizing there. I didn't intend to take that big of a position, but lots of margin. So sitting up 326 right now. WTI continuing higher. This one could be a good short later in the day, coming below VWAP. Looks like AQMS is continuing lower. AEI kind of curling back up. So super volatile in pre-market. I would be interested in shorting AEI off the VWAP, but it'll be with a very small position, because this one can halt going up really easy, and I don't want to be stuck in halts going up in a short position on a stock with a float of 770,000 shares. WTI. So it looks like AEI is just continuing to drop. If I were trading to the long, which I'm not doing today, would look for a bounce off this moving average on AEI. EYES, new highs, new daily highs here. And trying to get over the pre-market high, which is 260. So topping out at the pre-market high for right now, but looks like it's really trying to get up over that, and it just broke through. So it looks like AEI did a bounce right where I said it would. Here at 1250, but it hasn't bounced a whole lot. So for the spreads, probably not a really good trade. $0.10 spreads here. So the best bet that I see right now for me shorting, based on a VWAP, would be WTI sometime later today. That's a really nice move upwards. It's an earnings play, and wouldn't be surprised if it continues higher. Let's look at the daily level here. So I don't see anything really obvious. Below $5. But I'm not too concerned about that because I'm not trying to time it for a reversal. I'd just be trying to get in for a move breaking below the VWAP. AEI now breaking below that 1250 level, the 200 moving average. So nice 5-minute breakout for WTI, only 10 cents. On 5-minute setups, it's nice to see higher volume here, decreased volume here, and then another volume spike on the breaking out candle, which you can see right here. There's more volume. Volume dips down here for this pullback, and now the volume's increasing as it comes up here to 480. So that would have been a pretty nice entry there, 15 cents here at 480 if you're trading to the long. The higher it goes up, the higher it will bring the VWAP up for me in case it comes back down and gives me some opportunities short it later today. ANCN. Maybe this one will give some opportunities to short later in the day as well if it goes up a whole bunch. It's amazing how much my emotions can impact my trading and how different I can feel if I do trade responsibly like I did this morning, pre-market. So it's all about emotions for me. Maybe if you're a robot and you don't have any emotions, then that you don't have to worry about that, but it's a pretty big deal, trading. In fact, I have some books here about the psychology of trading, which I haven't completely read, so that's on my list to finish those. There's a one here called Trading in the Zone, which is highly recommended. Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Chapter 4, Consistency, a State of Mind. So, all kinds of good stuff in this book. So I should finish reading that maybe a couple times. So I considered shorting ANCN, but didn't really have the guts to do it here just because it's so it's jumping around so quickly, and I have quite a bit of margin on it, and so I didn't want to use my hotkeys. It is at VWAP, and it's also on the daily chart right here at this level below these moving averages, so could come back down towards $3. Just didn't want to take the risk on it. So kind of like a rubber band effect when I start. trading a little bit more responsibly. I don't want to get into trades and then sometimes they work and then I kind of regret it. But I don't really regret not taking a trade because I'm uncomfortable with it for some reason. Anywhere near I would regret taking a trade that I'm uncomfortable with, or I'm not in the right state of mind, and then losing a whole ton of money like the last 2 days. So happy with my decision to not take trades if I don't like it for any reason. I just wish I had that mentality the last 2 days. So WTI did a pullback towards the VWAP here, continuing higher. This one has a pretty big float, 92 million shares and 13.5 million shares of volume today, so it's easier to get in and out of than a stock like ANCN, which has a 3 million share float and 1.3 million shares of volume. It's making a nice move here though on ANCN, so that short could have killed it, but it's okay. It also could have gone the opposite way. So that was a break down below VWAP on ANCN. I don't think it has a whole lot more to go. Could come down to $3, but I would have taken most of my profit right here probably at 330 if I could, but look at those spreads, 330 to 348. So still not a good trade. Not a good idea to take that trade. It's about quality, not quantity. I've been trading quantity over quality. Need to switch that around. So WTI breaking up a little bit higher here. WTI coming up towards $5. Doing a 1 minute pullback on the 1 minute chart here. If in the next little bit of time it can get back up to 498, it has a really nice 1 minute setup for breaking over $5. Right here you can see the high of this last candle is 498. The only problem is it has a ton of volume on that pullback. Big seller at $5. I'm just going to pull this up for the fun of it, so you can see right here at $5, bigger sellers right there. In my head, I was thinking, well, if I wasn't trading short trades just off the VWAP, I might try and get an entry at $5 or at $4.99, $4.98 to time the reversal. But timing the reversal is a lot harder than VWAP trades for me. So, interestingly enough, their fourth quarter earnings was a loss of 5 cents per share. And their quarterly revenue, so right here, loss of 5 cents per share. Quarterly revenues plunged to 94 million from 151 million. But they were better than expected results. So the low today exactly $4, so here at $5 it's moved up a good amount. Gapping up right now 31%. Looks like EYES, eyes, is doing pretty good. Can't short that one, so I'm not paying too much attention to it. But it did a nice breakout here at 280. So it's good to see some more stocks moving up today. So the news on EYES. Second Sight Medical Products, a leading developer and marketer of implantable visual prosthetics that are intended to create an artificial form of useful vision for blind individuals, today announced the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved their retinal prosthesis system, a redesigned set of external hardware, glasses and video processing unit, initially for use in combination with previously implanted systems for the treatment of retina pigmentosa, or retinitis pigmentosa. So FDA approval can be a big deal. So WTI's pulled back 20 cents now from double tapping $5. VWAP's at 463. This doesn't seem like a stock that will pull back most of the move today, just because it's a big float, and it's been moving up here. Now it's the second considerable day in a row, but coming up on the VWAP, so I'll probably take a small trade at the VWAP, but it'll probably bounce off of it here. So my entry is probably going to be 460 or so. So plenty of pressure at the VWAP there. It's holding it right now. But if it trades anything like stocks have been the last couple days, I would expect it to eventually come down below the VWAP. So I'm going to take a short position here right above the VWAP. Might bounce up from here, but I've seen a lot of downward pressure on this. I can stop out if it gets up to, let's see where my stop is going to be. That is a pretty big pullback from $5, so my stop is going to be around 480. And I'm adding here at 460 for the break below VWAP there. So my average price is 463. So I want to see it stay below 464, which is the VWAP, and this nice move there. So it's right below VWAP. $450 is going to be a tough level if it's going to continue down. Looks like EYES is continuing its nice move up, almost to $4. So I'm just staring at the level 2 and time and sales here on WTI. We have a minute and a half left on this candle below the VWAP. So really want to see it close below VWAP. Yesterday I was messing around with setting stops, but still feels weird to me to set a stop order on when I'm, actively trading something. But granted, it would have saved me a whole lot of losses if I had them when I wasn't in the right mindset. But today, I'm feeling really good. I'm in a good mindset. I'm not trying to make back a loss because I'm green on the day. And I feel and know that if WTI goes in the wrong direction, that I'll get out of it before I'm down thousands of dollars. So put an order out to buy 600 at 451, but it was a little bit late, so it dipped down to 450 and back to 52 without filling because I hadn't submitted it yet. So I was trying to take some profit off on the first dip to the $0.50 in this moving average, just to lock up some profit and make it a safer trade for the rest of the trade. I don't know how much this one will come back on the day. It already had to come back 40 cents to get to VWAP, 35 cents. Wow, ANCN continuing its really nice move down. That would have been a really good short too. Just risky with the float. If you look at ANCN, look at that move. I think I had 4 times margin on that stock. So the potential is out there for, could have just like doubled my account, but that's not the right way to look at things. My account's at 5,500 right now. So manage the trade on WTI. So bounced off 450 there, 449. So coming up, testing VWAP. Looks like it wants to come a little bit higher here. We have this moving average at 466 on the 1-minute chart. My price is 463. So my stop will be 470. Give it a little bit of room to come up and reject this moving average. There we have a big seller at 468. So we want to see it get pushed back down below that moving average on the 1 minute chart and below the VWAP. But I'm watching here at 468. So plenty of buying here. So I'm going to stop out at 468 there. So a little bit of a loss, but that's manageable. If I stop out, it's not a big deal. So could have took some profit down here in the 50s. I tried to, I just didn't send the order right in time at 451, 452. Wow, EYES. So WTI coming back down. I'm shorting WTB here again. This time my price is 462. For coming back below the VWAP. And my stop is going to be probably 470 again, just to keep it tight. So stopping out at 470. So just gave back, half of my profit on the day, taking 2 stabs on WTI. So I don't want this to be a red day at all. So I'll be done with WTI. Impressive move on low volume on HKIB. Can't short it. So this one has nearly doubled from where it opened up today at 460. It's almost up to $8. WTI continuing higher here, so broke below the VWAP. Came back up, came down, tested VWAP, and is continuing higher. So right now I don't really have anything I'm looking at for a short. So a little bit of a change in the market today with more continuation to the upside with WTI, EYES, although it's doing a pretty big pullback. It's had some really nice 5-minute setups, especially this one here off the 9 EMA from 267 all the way to 420. 200 million shares of volume on eyes, which is a lot. So playing it safe, not jumping into anything that's risky like ANCN. On another day, maybe I would be looking at this one to short it. Again, I missed a really good break here below VWAP and then lower, but the spreads are huge and they still are reasonable. Right now it's 5 cents and it's a really low float, 3 million. So don't really want to risk going red on the day trading a trading a stock with big spreads and kind of weird movement today. Man, WTI. I might take one more on the VWAP just to try it, but it is kind of forming a wedge here, so I'll have to be patient. It also looks like an ABCD pattern here. So I'll take one more stab on WTI, and I'll keep a tight stop again. It is, at the bottom of this range and above the VWAP, so definitely an anticipation trade I've been taking on WTI now for the third time. I've only been seeing selling here, so $462, $461 on the bid. $460. So now that I look at this, it looks like could be forming a little bit different wedge than I had drawn. So if I put in a trend line here of support, that looks a little bit different. And in that case, my entry's not all that great. But if it holds below the VWAP, which is what I'm trading for it to do, then we're good. If not, I can always stop out. Doesn't look like it wants to. 468 is the 20 EMA on the 1 minute chart. There's 30 seconds left on this 5-minute candle, and it looks like it's going to be closing above the VWAP right now. Seconds. So according to my trend lines here, the high of this range, the next candle will be about 477 or so, which is higher than I would really want to hold this position. Some more pressure here at 465, 464. Good morning, Robert. So plenty of pressure on the VWAP here, but also room for it to come back up to 470s in this range here. Minute and a half left on this candle. I've already been stopped out twice on this one. Keeping tighter stops than I'd really like to, but just due to the fact I'm really not wanting to go in the red today. Pretty much a break-even day for me right now, which is 1,000 times better than the last 2 days. So new candle, and it's at the bottom of the range and right at the VWAP. So if it does break below the VWAP, it should come down to 460 or so. So bouncing off a little bit there. Want to see it stay below 467. 467 is the 9 EMA on the 5 minute and the 20 EMA on the 1 minute. So right at the VWAP here, indecision. This stock has a nice big float, so it's easier to get in and out of it without crazy jumps and lack of enough shares at each price level. Coming down, so it's breaking below the range from these two candles, 460, and then we have this level at 459, 458 that it'll have to break through. So it's pushing on that. At this point, with it, broken out of this range, I feel better about this one than I have than the other two trades I took. So I'm looking to be in it for a little bit bigger move than here. I could take some profit at this level, 460, but it should come back up a bit and then try and break down below there eventually. But then again, back here, when I shorted it here, it came down 15 cents and then right back up, so I need to be cautious of that as well. At that point, there just wasn't as clear of there wasn't really a wedge formed that it could break down below like there is here. So 458 is the price to break down below. Yeah, I'm really happy I didn't go bananas pre-market today, Scott. So I'm actually feeling like a king right now, not down a couple $1,000. So that's really good. I'm probably going to not trade anywhere near as long as I have been. Probably just finish up this one. There's I've only taken short positions today, so I don't know. There's been a little bit more momentum to the long side this morning on EYES and on WTI earlier, and I think a few others. So maybe the market will get a little bit hotter next week. Who knows? But at this point, my rule through Friday is only short positions, because when I'm going back and forth between short and long, I think that's one thing that, especially on the same stock, sometimes, I'll trade it to the long side, and then after the move, it'll come down. And when I'm doing that, I'm more prone to try and time a reversal or something like that than trading the VWAP, which is what's most consistent for me. So for 5 days next week, I'm only going to take short positions. If the market gets insanely hot and there's some really good momentum stocks, I'll change that rule. But maybe. But I'm pretty sure I'll do well if I'm just shorting off the VWAP, which is what I've done today. Every single trade I've taken, except for WTRH, which I'm red on more than I'm green on any stock, was a short position at VWAP. WTRH was a short position extended below VWAP. So didn't completely follow my my strict guideline as far as the the really good entry, but I've only taken short positions today. So baby steps. I'm in a way better state of mind this morning. Feel good. Hopefully can continue that into next week. But here's the ugly chart of shame. I'll put WTI right here. So WTI, just so I can keep an eye on WTI. Here's the ugly chart of shame. My equity curve here. Just under a month ago, started out sharing my trading publicly. Super solid, insanely solid trading. And then I started, had a big red day there, had some three, green days. Three smaller green days, and then the last 2 days just blew it. So oh wait, that was before commissions. So here's after commissions. Really blew it. But it's okay. Nothing I can't recover from. Yep. Yeah, I have to have the big picture in perspective. I've been trading Yesterday I was trading based on how I did from the day before, and before that I just was trading my P&L on Wednesday, and it's completely 100 beacons. Super avoidable. Just having a desire to not be red on the day, and trying to force trades to make up for that, and that just doesn't work. You can't trade like that. So I'm watching WTI here to see if it stays below this moving average at 458. I'm just gonna take the whole trade off and be done. So I'm gonna finish the day right now, probably, just so I don't trade too long. And after commissions, probably only up 100, 125, but that's 10 million times better than the last 2 days. So I'll do a review on the week this weekend, but much bigger pullback, even with this $4,000 day, wasn't a big deal. But after this, I definitely have to be a little bit more careful, because if I had one more day trading like this, I'd be at risk of having to put more money in my account, which is not a part of the profitable plan here and the small account challenge. So got a little bit derailed. Today's really good step in the right direction. Not going bananas pre-market, and I'll be back at it on Monday morning. Hopefully we do see a little bit more momentum to the upside. So let's see. Let's look at some more statistics here. I'm not going to take any more trades today. So before the last 2 days, my average daily gain was $900 a day. Now, after commissions, that was after commissions, this was $900 a day. The last 2 days cut that down to $218. So it's impressive what you can do there. My average winning trade, 665. Average losing trade, 496. This is really bad here. So this goes to show that you can be a profitable trader even if you're wrong more than 50% of the time, because only 45.4% of my trades have been winning trades. And I'm up now after today, $3,800. So let's look at the wins versus loss days. So I've gained 19,764 and lost 16,055. 70% of my days are winning days. That's good. It was 81% before yesterday. This is all after commissions. I can toggle between before commissions or after commissions. What else? So here's the calendar. a rough March. If I look at the equity curve for March, it's going to be pretty bad, but we'll do it. March 1st to March 4th filter. So here is the equity curve after commissions on March. Wait, is that March? Yeah, so the 1st to the 4th. So basically down $8,000 on the month. There's more trading days this month than I had in February. So completely possible to recover from that if I trade mindfully and not like a maniac. Let's see, there's 5, 10, 15, 18 more trading days. I think there's 18 more trading days, so I'd have to average a little less than 500 a day. That's completely doable. When I'm doing something like this, I'm risky. So let's just say I'm down 8,000 on the month and there's 18 trading days left. I'd have to average $450 a day to be green on March. And by doing this math, I might be setting something in my mind, like trying to get to $444 every day, which is bad because, you know, some days you're gonna do a lot better than others, and it's an average that you're going for. It's the big picture, not every single day. This week, in my mind, I was treating each day like it was, you know, everything. Even after Wednesday, still not a huge deal. I had a $9,800 account, you know, coming off my highs for sure, but not a huge deal in the big picture. Unfortunate. And I was actually came back to green on that day slowly. I was down 3,000 and slowly made it back to green on the day. But I was so much like pent up in this emotional state of like trying to make back, you know, all the losing trades I had just because I was trading my P&L. Even when I got back to green on the day, I continued to trade in a very, very risky, unproductive way, and this is what happened. So Robert's calling out NIO for long-term support at 29.40. So, yeah, I just whoa, wow, nice to see this move on WTI. So not fully capitalizing on the moves stocks are making today, but ending the day in a good position for beginning next week, mentally, emotionally, and I'm gonna shut down the live stream now and go have a good day and weekend, and I hope you do as well. Feel free to comment anything on the video after it's done. I respond to all the comments on my videos, and I will be back Monday morning. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Thank you for joining me today, Jacob, Whiskey Trading Co., Robert, and Scott, and any other of you who have not participated in the chat. I'll see you Monday morning.